Today, I have a special guest, Tiffany Jones, owner of The Place on Main. It's The Place on Main.
Yes.
Cool. Tell us about yourself. You're not from Kingfisher, are you?
No.
You're an import.
Yes, I grew up in Calumet, graduated from there, and then moved to Yukon and lived there for several years until I met my husband.
Right. And then where did you meet your husband? And who is your husband?
My husband is Drake Jones, and we met through dancing in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
So met there.
Not to be confused with Dancing with the Stars?
No, not to be confused with Dancing with the Stars. So we met. We were both pretty young, I think 19 and 20 at the time.
Right.
Yes. Got married a few years later and knew we wanted to move to Kingfisher to some family land. So.
Very cool. And you went to UCO?
Yes.
And got your, what did you get your degree in?
Business and a
Okay.
minor in marketing.
Oh, well,
Yes.
that makes sense with all of the crazy things. She does a lot of different things.
Yes.
So, yes. And then you spent some time at the Kingfisher Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, I was there for about a year and a half. My job previously, I was very involved in the chamber from a volunteer standpoint for a good 7 years, and then moved, and you know, Shauna had reached out to me, and so I worked there for about a year and a half until our other business kicked
There
off.
you go. And your husband owns a fencing company? What's it called?
It's Top Shelf Fencing and Fabrication.
Okay.
Yes,
So
so privacy.
like metal fabrication?
Yes, yes, a lot of pipe and cable. He works for a lot of farmers and building buildings, and a lot of the pipe and cable, and just a lot of different things.
Very good.
Yes.
Handy skills for house remodeling and things like that. Yeah.
A long honey-do list.
When people, people find out that I built this, it's like, so can you help me with my kitchen? No,
Yes,
no, not at all. So you've been planning events and things like this in Kingfisher, and so tell me a little bit about why you thought that was a great idea.
So again, my job that I had in Mustang, I learned that I have a love for events or planning, bringing people together. It makes me happy. And so when I started the chamber, I kind of was introduced to some people. Dana Boutwell was one with the Block 35.
Yep.
And that's kind of where I kicked off my first vendor event. And from there, I just started doing a few more. And now consistently, I do the Place on Main kids vendor event, which is typically held in June or July.
Right.
And then Christmas on Main, which is at Block 35.
That's like your marquee one where you get like lots of people. I think that's where I first met you, was like 3 years ago with that.
Yep.
Yeah, Santa Claus and the reindeer, and the cotton candy guy.
Yes.
He kills it. Yeah.
And we brought in s'mores this last year, so that was fun.
That was
Fire
amazing.
pit. Yes.
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 Oh, that was probably the coolest thing.
Yeah. It was a lot of
Very,
fun.
very cool. I probably need his phone number.
Yes.
And then you work full-time at TerraStar. What do you
Yes.
do at TerraStar?
I am an executive assistant there for Brad Whitrock.
Okay.
And I've been there, I'm coming up on 1 year.
Nice.
Yes, so kind of going back to my roots, I was an EA in Mustang for a land development company.
Oh, okay. So it's not your first rodeo with
Nope.
that kind of thing.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay. Cool. Now, let's talk about the kids' events. And I know you have two very active children. Why did you decide to venture into kids' events?
So the kids vendor event, you can, find a craft show anywhere, and it's mostly adults. I mean, there might be a kid or two set up there, but this just primarily focuses on the kids. It gives them a place to set up. The community can come out and support them, and it's just not something that you find very often.
Not commonplace.
Yeah. And there's a lot of crafty kids in Kingfisher and surrounding areas, so.
Yeah.
And it's fun for them, and it gives them, people skills and all the things, so.
Yeah. There was a young, we have a restaurant just around the corner here, Gail's Grill, and there's like 12 seats. And you couldn't get in the door Saturday morning because a couple of kids had set up a lemonade stand and cookies. And nobody got out of there without lemonade or cookies. And
yep, it's hard to say no to the kids. It is.
a thing that you do that a lot of people aren't aware of, and you're a bodybuilder, like a competitive bodybuilder.
Yes.
So what made you even start that, like from the beginning? I mean.
Okay, so oh gosh, it's been years ago. Prior to having kids, I wanted to do a show. Then I ended up not, because I think it was later that year actually we found out we were expecting. So then you have kids, you kind of forget about things. And then in 2022, I was not quite 30, didn't feel the best. you know, you should have a lot of energy when you're not even 30. So I started with Matt Scott on my training, just mainly on the eating side of things, and then boot
This is
camp.
a personal trainer?
Yes,
Okay.
Matt Scott is a personal trainer.
Yep.
So started with him. He got me set up on, you know, calories and learning how to just track and cut and all the good things. And then I went to him and said, I think I want to do a show this year just to fast track my weight loss journey. So I did the show.
So describe the show. So what is a show?
Yes. So the show is, if you're not familiar with bodybuilding, I do the bikini division, but this year I'll be doing the fit model. I mean, really, you wear a swimsuit out there and heels. I would say the hardest thing out of the entire show is the posing, because posing is very important. It can really make or break you. I mean, it can determine where you place, because if you're posing wrong, it can make you look wrong. I mean, it can make your waist look bigger than what it really is.
Now, do you have a coach for that kind of thing?
Yes,
or,
I do. I used, so this last year I used Shannon Dill out of Enid. She has a gym there, and she trains a lot of bikini girls. So I used her for my posing. Now this year's posing will be a little different because it's fit model. So it's almost taking it back to how bikini originally started as far as posing goes and the look. You don't have to have as much muscle definition. I mean, I guess I should say, yeah, muscle definition and probably size.
So it's not like, I mean, you were telling me that it's not like the big, probably phrasing this wrong, but the big scary women that are all bulked up and everything.
They're there as well, but those divisions aren't as large as, say, fit model and bikini.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
So I think those are probably a little far and few between. I mean, there's probably 2 to 3 depending on which division, but yeah.
So what's your routine look like to get to where, because I know I saw some before and after pictures before you started and now.
Yes. So routine is obviously getting to a deficit. You work out at least 4 to 5 days a week, but cardio is every day. You can get upwards of 2 hours a day of cardio whenever you get to the very end.
Okay, yeah, I can't walk across the street, so I'm probably out,
So whenever you get towards the end, your cardio, it just depends on how what your body needs to get to what you're trying to get it to. Stage ready, as they would say. So obviously eating very clean. This go around, I'm tracking my macros. I do like that so far just because you have a little play with your food.
What is that?
Macros is your fat. So you have your calories, your fat, your carbs, and your protein. So right now I think my carbs are right at 252 grams, protein's at 125, and fat is at 55. So you don't have a lot of fat, but I'm actually having a hard time reaching my fat. So I've been adding some butter to my potato.
What a treat.
Yes. But so obviously eating clean, getting to the gym, getting your weights in. At this point, you're not trying to push a lot of heavy weight because you're cutting. You're not trying to grow muscle. You're typically not going to grow muscle when you're in a deficit. And then, and try to survive, because it does. And then you might at some point carb cycle, and that does get a little difficult. And I'm just trying to think if I'm missing anything else.
I can't imagine. Yeah.
I like the process of it, though. It's a routine, it's a process, and you have an end goal.
And you were saying how much better you feel, that your energy's back.
A lot better,
and
yeah.
You're much more, you got your smile back.
Yes, yes. I mean, at the end, you're kind of just ready to be done, but your mind, your biggest battle is your mind, really. It's not your body. You can push your body a lot further than what you think, so it's just a mental battle.
Wow. So how much longer are you going to do this?
So
until you get the big trophy?
Yes. So I just started this week, actually. My first show will be in August, September. It just depends. I'm looking at 2 different shows. So I guess it's about an 18-week prep.
And these are like Oklahoma-based or what?
Yes, Oklahoma-based. I mean, of course, if you wanted to go out of state and do one, you can. I've looked at some out of state, but couldn't talk my husband into driving. So one of them will be in Tulsa, and then the other will be in Oklahoma City. Actually, Edmond, UCO is where they hold that.
Wow.
And the first one, there is one coming up this month, actually, in Tulsa, in NPC. So kicking off the fit model division, that's a new division. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, you got to keep track of her Facebook page so you can see your progression and if you got the big trophy or not, kind of thing like that.
They actually give out swords Some of them are
Swords?
swords. Yeah, some of them are
Okay.
swords. I can't remember what OCB gives out, but I think a medal. It's a medal. Yeah. Some do trophies, but
Swords are kind of odd, but okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're kind of cool. I mean,
Use it for
so you
shish
hang it up on
kebab
it.
when you start
Yeah.
eating again. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Well, Tiffany, thank you so much for hanging
Yes.
out. This is, I was intrigued when I saw those pictures. In fact, I asked Amy, is this Photoshop? Because I didn't know. You know, I
Yeah.
figured somebody stuck your head on somebody else's body, but it was really you.
Hey, if I would have stuck my head on somebody else's body, they would have, had the
picked a-
medal on there and everything.
Picked a good one.
Yes.
Yeah. You bet. So now, how do people reach out to you if they want to rent your event space or have you event plan or anything like that?
Yes. So you can go to my Facebook page, The Place on Main. My phone number's on there. You can private message me on there, text me, call me. I'm pretty easy to find, really. You can probably just Google
She's
my
all
phone
over
number.
the place. Yeah, she's pretty much any event you can see her there. And
Yes.
I think we ran across you once or twice just this week alone. So
Yep.
yeah, very cool. Well, thanks for hanging out with
Yes,
us and
thanks for having me.
telling us your story. And
Yes.
I'll see you on Main Street sometime.
Yes. Yep.
Stay tuned.